Greetings ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mangs, and I welcome you guys to the start of a brand new playthrough of Civilization V, A Brave New World. This time around, I'm going to be playing as Enrico Dondolo of the Republic of Venice. Yes, I'm actually doing a Venice Let's Play, guys. So, a while back, when I did my Ottomans Let's Play, I made a comment about Venice in one of my episodes that didn't sit too well with people. I bashed them for being one of the weakest civilizations in the game, and some people didn't take too kindly to that. I got a bunch of angry comments about it. However, I am aware that Venice is a very popular civilization among certain players. But I didn't call them boring or non-interesting. In fact, I think that Venice are quite unique. They are perhaps one of the most unique civilizations in the game. They have a completely different playstyle. It is just that their weaknesses are a little bit too crippling compared to their benefits. However, they are a little bit more trashy in terms of playing with human opponents than they are with AI opponents, because human opponents are a little bit more difficult to manipulate. They aren't as predictable. And I think one of the big problems when you play as Venice with human opponents is that you're pretty much going to end up being embargoed immediately, because Venice are quite reliant on their trade routes to actually stay relevant. So it's going to be pretty hard. I am playing on Immortal, so this is going to be a challenge. We'll see if I can pull it off. But before we go into this game, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Republic of Venice and exactly what makes them so unique. So their civilization bonus is called Serenissima. They can't get settlers and they can't annex cities. They have double the amount of trade routes available, and they get a Merchant of Venice, which is one of their unique units, after getting optics. And they can also purchase buildings and units for gold in cities that they have puppeted, which is a very unique feature. So this is off the bat a very crippling bonus, if I can say that. Sounds very weird to call a bonus crippling. But the fact that they can't get settlers is a huge deal. The ability to take expansions is really what Civilization is all about. And I think a very important feature about this that people are overlooking is that it is not so bad that you simply can't take expansions for your own, but it means that you can never contest lands with your neighbors. Let's say that you have a really aggressive neighbor in Shaka. Shaka loves to expand. He expands as long as there's available land to him. Most AIs do at higher difficulties. The fact that you will not take cities means that you are allowing him to expand even more cities. You are basically not contesting the area around you. You will always be this one big capital that won't really claim a lot of land. Sure, you can conquer enemy cities if you really want to. You can build up a military and you can puppet cities, but really I don't think this is how you optimally play Venice. And I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that once I'm done talking about their unique unit, the Merchant of Venice. So, the Merchant of Venice is a unique great merchant, the only one of its kind. It is quite unique to have a unique great person. The Merchant of Venice can immediately puppet any city-state that it moves within the borders of. Kind of similar to a trade mission, except that you simply just get the city as one of your own immediately. No resistance, no nothing, not even a population loss. You just get it immediately. Can't really say for sure if you get all the units with the city. I think you do, but I'm not quite sure if they just disappear or if you just get the city immediately. If you get all of the units, then it's pretty good, but I guess someone can confirm this. However, I don't think this is how you want to properly use a Merchant of Venice. Because it actually has an additional hidden bonus that is not listed in its tooltip, and that is the fact that it can conduct trade missions for double the amount of influence and gold. This is a pretty big deal, because it means you can pretty much use a Merchant of Venice to immediately ally yourself with the city-states. They're still not as good as, say, Sweden, when it comes to getting city-states on their side, but this means that Venice are pretty good contenders for a diplomatic victory, and going into the patronage tree will certainly be very beneficial to them. So, I don't like puppeting cities, because puppeting cities usually is pretty bad. It is usually something you only do when a city is in resistance to save you a little bit of unhappiness temporarily. Or something you do if you simply cannot spare the happiness to annex the city immediately. The big problem with puppeting a city is that even if you can buy things with gold, which, you know, synergizes very nicely with Venice's ability to get double the amount of trade routes, The AI is really fucking stupid, and it builds very weird buildings. I've seen cities building walls when they have absolutely no need of walls, and it kind of just is crippling because the AI does not know what's good for you, and it builds really weird buildings. Like, oh, thanks, I really needed that radio tower when I'm not going for any culture at all, or that hotel when the city is generating no tourism. So for that reason alone, I think it's much better to use the Merchant of Venice to actually ally yourself with city-states instead of puppeting them. And if you can somehow fill out the commerce tree, you're going to get a sickly amount of gold from trade missions, and it's actually one of the reasons why I decided to play as Venice, because I really wanted to check out the Merchants of Venice in action. Then they have another unique unit called the Great Galleass. This one's not as interesting. It kind of is disappointing that they don't have a ship that synergizes with their auto bonuses, because this is just a plain Galleass with a +3 increase to combat strength. Normal Galleasses have a ranged combat strength of 17, these guys have 20, which, don't get me wrong, it's really powerful to have 3 extra combat strength. You cannot neglect the fact that that makes them pretty darn strong. However, it just doesn't have any synergy with their other bonuses. Like, Venice is not a civilization you want to conquer other cities with, and Galleasses aren't that great at conquering cities. You usually want to wait until you get frigates to do that. Frigates and privateers are the big power players in naval combat. And the Great Galleass doesn't really have a promotion that carry on with it when you upgrade it to a frigates. If it had, it'd be a lot better, but as it stands right now, it's a pretty boring and non-interesting unit that rarely really gets to see any play. I mean, I guess you could use them to clear the water of barbarians so that your trade routes will not get harassed, but that's pretty much about it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've talked enough. Let us jump into the game and check out our starting location. So off the bat, this is a really good location. Like, I also see a mountain, and that is definitely worth moving for. So we're going to be moving up here and grabbing ourselves an observatory. There's a lot of jungle here. I am playing on a Pangea map with a high sea level. And something that is very unique about this Let's Play is that I actually have the speed set to quick instead of moderate, which is what I usually play as. So this Let's Play will be a little bit quicker than my other ones. So let's found the city right here. I am pretty sure I don't want to move further north, as I'd lose out on a lot of potential citrus. Like, I gotta say that it's very tempting to move south to get all of these tiles, but I really want this fish. There are 3 fish tiles here, which means that the city will be really fucking good. Of course, gimping yourself 1 turn is never a good thing, especially considering I've already decided I'm gonna go for an early Stonehenge. When you only have 1 city, you want that 1 city to be as good as humanly possible. And getting a religion up is going to be very important in that regard, which is why I'm going to try to rush for Stonehenge. You can pretty reliably get Stonehenge. It's a wonder that isn't as often sniped by the AIs, as opposed to Great Library, who just gets sniped immediately. And we get a ruin, which is good. But yeah, Stonehenge is going to be a very good wonder, and prepare to watch the Venice Curse in action, because the Venice Curse is that whenever you play as Venice, you're always going to find this crazy city expansion that you're never going to get, because you can't build settlers. And more fish, wonderful. We have 4 fish tiles. This is actually pretty fucking amazing. Gonna go for a monuments, and we find population, which is even better. Population and culture is some of the best things you can get in a ruin early on. Having 2 citizens working the tiles around Venice from the get-go is pretty important. I actually want to see what kind of tiles we are working. We're working both the fish tiles, which I guess is completely fine, because that will mean the city grows faster. And yes, we're gonna get a pretty fucking huge city in this Let's Play. I don't think I'll ever get more than 1 city. The goal is to have 1 really good city with an observatory, generating a lot of science, and trying to ally myself with a lot of city-states. And, you know, maybe we'll either go for a technological victory, or most likely a diplomatic one. This won't be a Let's Play that will have a lot of wars in them. You have been warned. If you like watching a war-filled Let's Play, there are plenty of good options to pick between in my playlist in the video description. I recommend Germany, Arabia, France, even Denmark have a lot of wars in it. And especially my Shaka Let's Play, or my Zulu Let's Play, I should say. 80 gold from the ruin, because that's fine. And that's our 3rd ruin. That's more ruins than I usually get, so I'm quite happy about that. And Unknown Civilization has picked the 30% increase in ranged combat strength. That's a pretty crappy pantheon as far as I'm concerned. But hey, I'm not going to discriminate. And we get some spearmen, which is quite nice. Let us grab ourselves a shrine. The shrine will line up perfectly with Stonehenge, which I am quite happy to see. Now let's go and meet some city-states and get some gold. Because if you're the first one to encounter a city-state, you get a little bit extra for it. Alright, we have Hiawatha. Hiawatha is a pretty okay dude. He's not particularly aggressive, although he can be when he gets his Mohawk warriors. If you don't know, every single leader in the game, when they get their unique unit, they get a big boost to their willingness to go to war. So when Hiawatha get his Mohawk warriors up in the medieval era, he usually, or he can declare war on you. But otherwise, he's a pretty peaceful guy. He's not particularly deceptive, and he doesn't really tolerate warmongering a lot. But I'm pretty sure we can get a good friend in Hiawatha as Venice, because we're not really going to be forward settling anyone. As Venice, you pretty much want to make sure you're on the good side of people. And that tradition opener is quite well timed. In fact, we'll get our new policy in 3 turns, which means we will get aristocracy as soon as we start working on Stonehenge, which I'm quite happy about. He wants to buy my embassy. I am actually considering that. I would like some gold, actually, because I would like to buy myself a worker, and I think I will. Normally, you never want to sell embassies. You wanna keep them around. And I actually think I am gonna be moving here, because I want to see what's around his capital. Do I want to stick around and kill barbarians, or do I want to explore? I guess I could kill some barbarians. Archers are pretty easy to kill when you got spearmen, and it would actually be kind of nice to get some gold from clearing an encampment, because I would love to get a work route. Would absolutely love that. Let's try. Maybe there's some city-states over here we haven't met either. Alright. Spearman will get a promotion. That's good. We can grab Shock or even Amphibious if we really want to. It will eliminate the penalty of moving across this river. But I see the borders of a city-states. So we can't grab Amphibious just yet. Let's grab Shock and move around. Oh, another ruin. Wonderful. And we get our aristocracy policy, which will line up nicely with the Stonehenge. What if we put our city to production focus? We can get Stonehenge in 16 turns, which means that we'll be able to grab Stonehenge on turn 31, which I think is pretty fucking amazing. We need animal husbandry so we can go connect the sheep. That will be quite useful. I'm actually a little bit unsure about what pantheon to pick here, because there's so many good options. I think Sun God would be really good. Oh, looky here. Natural Wonder, Mount Kilimanjaro. That's the wonder that gives a unique promotion. This wonder is really good, by the way, and it's going to get sniped by Hiawatha immediately. Altitude training. You get a plus 10% combat strength in hills and double movement in hills. This is crazy good on your scouts, by the way, because you can move 4 tiles through the hills, which is really amazing. Mount Kilimanjaro is actually one of my favorite wonders. And we get riding. Ooh. Askia! Hey there, buddy. How are you doing? This guy is religious. This guy is aggressive. This guy likes to sack cities, and he likes to spread his religion to those sacked cities. Askia is a pretty difficult guy to deal with. He usually goes to war when he gets his Mandikalu cavalry. And his economy apparently sucks. Let's grab an embassy with him. Let's see where he is. He is to the right of us, apparently. And that free riding is actually pretty decent. I have no issues with that. Anyway, we have met Lhasa, which is pretty nice. Would actually be kind of cool if those workers get stolen. But yeah, it's pretty decent to meet a religious city-state, because they give you 8 faith. And I think I am actually going to attack these archers. I will actually be able to one-shot them with my new shock promotion. And too bad I would ideally like to wait for the city-state to get a quests. And apparently I'm not flanking them anymore, but that's fine. I can still kill them on the next turn. But the extra gold will be quite nice. So what should I go for right now? Sailing? Sailing sounds good. Trapping too would work, but I have most of the techs I need to improve these tiles right now. So let's actually go for sailing. Getting some fishing boats up wouldn't hurt. Here's Budapest. They give me 30 gold. I'm apparently the first civilization to meet them. I might be able to buy myself a worker. I'm playing on quick, so that means workers are going to cost me 220 gold. I could go improve the sheep, which would improve my production towards Stonehenge. Would certainly be nice to get that up quickly. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah. 16 gold, not quite enough. I guess we're just going to have to keep fingers crossed for being able to build Stonehenge early. 10 more turns. An enemy brute attacked your spearmen. We gotta make sure the spearmen do not suffer. However, if we're a little bit smart, the worker might get captured and we can earn ourselves some quick influence. That would certainly be nice. We could also chop down this forest if we get our worker out more. Yeah, I can see here the altitude training in action. The scout can really cover a lot of good ground. We should probably heal up our spearmen a little bit. We could steal a worker if we really wanted to, but I think I'll pass on that. We'll get another policy. That's going to be Ogliarchy. Not really, like, both Ogliarchy and Legalism are complete crap for me right now. It's a little bit of a shame that we... Like, tradition is still the best opener, though, by far. Like, there's no contesting tradition. Like, a funny fact about Liberty is that when you get collective rule, you actually get a great merchant of Venice. However, why would you ever go collective rule on Venice? That is beyond me. Looking at this opener, Sun God would give me a flat 4 food. I could also go for fertility rights, which is a 10% increase to growth. I think 4 flat food is going to be giving me a lot more growth than fertility rights. God King is actually not a bad pantheon either for Venice. It's pretty darn good in the early game. But I think that Sun God is simply too good. Because, as I said, we have 3 sources of citrus and 1 banana. That will give me 4 food overall, which is a little bit too good. Goddess of the Sea would give me 4 hammers. But I think I prefer 4 food over 4 hammers. So Sun God it is. Alright, let's continue. So 7 turns until we get Stonehenge. That's going to be turn 20... Turn 29 Stonehenge, which is pretty darn early, in my opinion. And that's a ruin, which is gonna get snagged. Too bad. Not a whole lot. Oh, never mind. The warriors went away. So we're playing on quick, so turn 29 Stonehenge isn't that bad, I guess. Oh, 13 culture. How nice. And a captured worker. Can't do anything about that right now, though. So let's think about what we should get. Getting National College up quickly as Venice actually isn't such a bad idea. But I think mining is one of those techs you just gotta have. Of course, rushing optics wouldn't be bad. We'd get ourselves a great merchant of Venice really quickly. But I think grabbing masonry, actually. Well, do we really need... Bronze working would allow us to remove the jungle, which we need to get the citrus. We can't really build the camps until we remove the jungle. So I guess getting bronze working up is pretty important. 4 turns until we get Stonehenge. Will we get it? That remains to be seen. Askia is certainly one of those guys who could build Stonehenge. I don't see its model outside Gao. Stonehenge is one of those wonders you can actually see your opponents constructing. And Melbourne. We can actually buy ourselves a worker, and I think I will. It's going to cost me 220 gold, and I think that's a good investment. So we will get Venice. We will get Stonehenge on turn 28, which is actually pretty darn decent. But yeah, you can see how good this promotion is. Hello, Napoleon. How are you today? Napoleon. This guy is very aggressive, but perhaps what's most terrifying about him is his boldness. He has one of the highest boldness rating of all the civilization leaders. Boldness means that basically the more bold the leader is, the less likely he is to avoid wars he don't think he can win. So let's say a leader is very cowardly, he has a low boldness rating. He would need a very large army before he declares war on you. He essentially needs to outnumber you. He needs to be sure he can win the war before he declares it. So you can pretty much offset said players by having an army yourself, guarding your borders, and they're just going to go, okay, I'm just going to look for someone weaker. Napoleon is bold as fuck, which means that he will declare war on you even though he thinks he won't win. And to offset it, when he gets his musketeers, which adds a warmonger bonus, he is pretty much guaranteed to declare war on his neighbor. Declaration of friendship or not, even though he's not particularly deceptive, he will most usually always go to war in the Renaissance era. And he doesn't care if you don't think he can't beat you, he'll still go to war because he's bold as fuck. Which, you know, I think is he's very interesting to have around. He's very easy to bribe others, or bribe into attacking others. He's an interesting leader overall. Still not as interesting as Shaka, but he's still pretty darn interesting. Alright, one turn until we get Stonehenge. It's going to be very interesting to see if we get it. Is it going to be one of those one-turn wonder snipes? They can certainly happen. Okay, come on. Come on. I think we got it. Pretty sure we got it. Processing turn for city-states. Yep, we got it. So that's a good start. A very good start. It's a big gamble to go for a wonder early on. A massive one. And I hate doing it most of the time. Oh, a ruin. Where? Oh, over there. So, now we are pretty much guaranteed a religion. I am really surprised that no one has sniped the Great Library, and you are taunting me, Mr. Library, by standing there with 12 turns left, but I am not going to be fooled, because I know that someone is going to snatch you sooner or later. So, we already have 4 trade routes. Isn't that just ridiculous? So, we need to, of course, get a library up, and I do believe I was supposed to buy a worker. I kind of forgot about that, didn't I? But yeah, we need a library out early. As Venice, it is even more imperative that you get your library out ASAP. There we go. Turn 28, Great Library. This is why you never rush Great Library, by the way. In this game, however, since I got writing for free, it is actually not that unheard of that I could have perhaps managed to get the library if I went for it early. But I still don't think it would have mattered. Anyway, I'm going to go and grab the cotton. Let's continue to explore with the spearmen. Ouch! The hell, scouts? What are you doing? And yeah, that ruin is gonna get grabbed. Let's try to heal ourselves up a little bit, shall we? I would love to get scouting promotion on my scouts. That'd be pretty interesting, actually. And we also would need to get some units up in Venice to protect ourselves from barbarians. Barbarians are usually discouraged when they don't have any pillage to, or not any pillaging to do, so to say. And the fact that I have no pillaging improvements, I almost said. The fact that I have no improvements means that I'm pretty sure the barbarians will just walk away. I really wanted to do this cotton because it's hidden behind a mountain, away from the archers. Hopefully I can shoot down the archers before they're just gonna have a stroll around my neighborhood, see if they can see something interesting. They're not gonna find it, I think. Let's go and meet the city-state. I actually think I'm gonna send my spearmen back. So here's Paris, very close to Askia. Gao and Paris, they're like, yeah, they're literally like 10 tiles within, next to each other. It's pretty difficult to say who's going to win this war, and this will come to war, trust me. I think that Askia might win, because he can get his Mandakalu cavalry up before Napoleon can get his musketeers up. But if it does come to the Renaissance era, and Askia still hasn't managed to kill Napoleon, then Napoleon will get his musketeers, and he will just dominate the battlefield. So it's pretty much just, can Napoleon survive until the Renaissance era? If he can, he will win. You can't defeat Napoleon in the Renaissance era. It is literally impossible. His musketeers will overwhelm you. They are really fucking strong. 28s, combat strength, gunpowder units. There's literally nothing else at the time they come out that can stand up to them. And if you go watch my France Let's Play, you will see exactly how powerful musketeers can be. I think I absolutely wrecked Alexander with them. Alright, is it time to get optics? I think it may be time to get optics. To get that great merchant. What should I use it for, though? I could use it to befriend Lhasa, or I could use it to befriend Budapest. I would love a maritime city-state. Melbourne is mercantile. That's not really interesting. Hanoi is also militaristic. I don't like this. I guess a religious city-state could work. But I don't really want a militaristic city-state. I don't need units right now. I need food and culture. We can hold off the optics for a little while, or I could go for the Great Lighthouse. Ooh. Or I could go for the Colossus. And, oh my god, the Colossus would be even better. Yeah, we're totally gonna go for the Colossus. And we have iron on our capital. Wonderful. That means our capital just got a few extra hammers, and we have 6 iron to work with, which we can sell. And knowing Napoleon or Askia, they're gonna love themselves some iron. Actually, I was going to say Hiawatha, but then I just remembered he doesn't need iron for his Mohawk warriors, which means that he's probably not gonna buy any. Hello, Napoleon. You have no gold. We can check the gold outcome of these guys. 13 gold. Yeah, none of these guys can. I guess I could try to sell him a little bit. Does he even value it? Nah. He doesn't have anything to spend. Askia does have ivory. Is he willing to trade? Yes, he is. I'd say that's a good deal. Our happiness is not going to be a huge problem, but it's a few extra points towards Golden Age. And getting out a Golden Age early is always nice. The first Golden Age is pretty easy to get. And I think I'm going to send these spearmen back to Venice now, just to ward off barbarians. So now, actually getting out an early barrack so I can build some triremes isn't a bad idea at all. I think I will do that, actually. Getting some early promotions on your triremes means you can give them +1 vision a lot sooner, which actually makes them pretty darn good. And a barracks is always a nice building to have. You do want some units as Venice. You cannot neglect units. That is a very bad idea. So, getting some promotions on your ships is going to be pretty important. The barracks is a building that when I was a more inexperienced player, I used to not build it a lot, so to say. I would always like neglect building a barracks because I didn't see the importance of it. When I got more experienced, I realized how important the barracks is, and especially an armory. You want those promotions on your units. It makes them so much better. And yeah, it sucks to spend 6 turns building a barracks when I could have built, like, for example, something like a granary. But at the end of the day, you just have to build it. Build it and shut up. That's the most important advice I can give a new player. Build your barracks. Seriously. It's good. Alright, let's take out this encampment, shall we? There goes Hanging Gardens. I actually had an idea to build Hanging Gardens early on. But then I realized that the Hanging Gardens is quite difficult to get, and it's most likely going to get sniped. Let's go grab the sheep, shall we? There's only rough terrain around these hand axes, so I will kill them before they get close to my workers. God, I love having this Mount Kilimanjaro promotion on my scouts. It's amazing. Getting the shock promotion probably wasn't the wisest choice I could have done. There's mostly rough terrain around my capital, so I think I'll go for shock, for drill 1 I mean, instead of going for shock. Or I could go for shock 2. I'm actually not sure. I think it's going to be drill. Yeah, definitely drill. Alright. I hate hand axes. They're so strong. Alright, let's go for a trireme before we get our Colossus. Getting a trireme up as Venice is pretty important because... oh, nice. Hello. Sidon. Another militaristic... What the fuck is up with all the militaristic city-states? I swear to God. Why are there only militaristic city-states in this game? This annoys the shit out of me. But yeah, getting a trireme up as Venice is pretty darn important because you want to scout those coastal capitals immediately, and you want to get to know them so you can get to trade them, I guess you could say. Thanks for the encampment. Encampments give no gold on quick speed. And yeah, these spearmen needs to get back so I can protect these workers because it's actually starting to annoy me a little bit that I can't get more improvements done. Venice is already size 6 on turn 41. And it's gonna grow very quickly once I get the fishing boats out. So, I need to work on those improvements. Happiness will not be an issue in this Let's Play, which means that my religion modifiers will not need to be happiness-based at all. Which I think is quite funny. Let's grab a pasture. Let's get back to the capital, shall we? But yeah, getting the Colossus up, that's a pretty good wonder. It also very rarely gets sniped. Onondaga is a coastal city by the looks of it. Paris is not, and Gao is not, which means I have I don't have that many competitors that can actually take the city away from me. I guess I could just put one turn of work into a workboat. Let's grab boarding party. It's not like we're going to be taking cities with this thing. And let's start to explore, shall we? Alright, I don't think there's much else that I can see here. I think it's much more interesting to continue this way, to see what's behind Napoleon. These archers will most likely move into my territory right now, unless they piss off, which I hope they will. But yeah, I hope I have a lot of cities to trade with. It kind of sucks. Sometimes as Venice, you can get like really screwed over by your city location. One time I got like blocked in by ice, so I couldn't trade with any of the other capitals by sea, and that is pretty much a death sentence for Venice. Is it time to grab optics yet? I don't know. Is it? It's probably better to get trapping. I don't know. I do suppose we want the National College up as soon as possible. So actually, let's go for philosophy, shall we? And let's change our production to the Colossus, put the city to production. 10 turns is pretty decent, I'd say. We could definitely get Colossus up. It would also give us another trade route, which would be really good. And, oh my god, I'm liking the fact that I have 4 fish tiles near Venice. The city is going to be massive, with a harbor and a seaport. And, for whatever reason, we got a lot of influence with Lhasa. Why? I don't even know. I'm not gonna complain though. Hope I get a trade quest with them soon. That'll be really nice. Ah, my cotton's gonna get pillaged now. I knew this was gonna happen. Stupid barbarians. Mind your own fucking business, will you? Alright, very unsure about the Colossus. I certainly did not rush for it, but I think I'm in a good position to get in. I hope I am. Alright, what's over here? Not a whole lot. More city-states and a natural wonder. That's Mount Sinai, the Faith Wonder. And we need to take some refugee in our capital before we finish that pasture. Oh, look, archers. We could potentially get some experience off these guys. Yeah, the Colossus would be huge, especially considering Venice is a civilization that's all about gold. There goes Petra, turn 46. Someone started in a desert area, that's for sure. Petra's such a good fucking wonder. It's almost game-breaking how good it is. Alright, let's continue to explore the coast. Let's see if we can find some major civilizations. Let's wait a little bit, actually. I think Napoleon is going to help us out eventually. 12 turns. Yeah, because this fucking archer is blocking the tiles. Ugh, I hate barbarians. Well, at least I killed the brutes. Now I need to do something about that encampment down there, spawning units. And heal up my spearmen at the same time. Oh, we get a promotion. How nice. Okay, this is really good. So, I love having scouts with scouting promotion. I think that's absolutely wonderful. And let's see if we can explore a little bit more. I do like this coastline a lot. It seems like there's going to be a lot of good cities to trade with. There goes the Great Wall! A lot of wonders getting sniped here. This is Immortal after all. It's almost impossible to get more than one wonder. I'm going to be really surprised if the Colossus hasn't been sniped within 7 turns. I'm going to be very lucky if that happens. Alright, let's go grab the citrus, shall we? Venice demands silver. Interesting. And, my god, so many good locations to expand here. Again, the curse of Venice shining true here. It is, pretty frustrating to see all these locations you will never be able to expand to. Alright, we got Pachacuti of the Incan Empire. How do they not have writing yet? What? How can you not have writing on turn 49 on quick speed? What the hell have you been doing? Weird guy, weird guy. Alright, 5 more turns until the Colossus is built. We can't repair that plantation just yet. I'd rather build one of my own to get some citrus. I'll go repair it eventually. I was just gonna do something about these tiles. I'm actually tempted to get yet another worker because there's going to be a lot of improvements to improve. Let's just say. And we might also get our religion. Oh, and as I say that, religion. Marxism is back. Only one religion, guys. Only one god. So we want to check out our founder belief here. Normally I'd go for tithe, but now I'm actually wondering if I should get something else. Let's take a look. So papal primacy, plus 50% to influence resting points. That's kind of bad. I guess it's gonna have to be tithe. Yeah, like... Yeah, it's gonna have to be tithe. Never mind, tithe is still the best religion. However, since we can only get a single city, getting any of these buildings right here is not gonna be particularly good. Religious art is an interesting one. +5 culture and +5 tourism for the Hermitage. But I think that swords into plowshares is definitely the one we want. We do not plan to go a lot to war with Venice. Getting 15% bonus to our growth is pretty massive. Although I'm certainly looking at this religious art right here. +5 culture and +5 tourism in a city is pretty huge. But no, I think we're going to go for swords into plowshares. It is a really good religious belief. We're going to go for landed elites, and we're going to finish our rationalism tree in a short 28 turns. That was a lot shorter, or a lot longer than I thought. I guess 28 turns is not all that much. It seems like a lot, but it's not in the early game. But of course, since we play with only one city, our policies and technologies will be researched a lot quicker. And we're just really happy I have an observatory. Let's just say that. 3 more turns. Can we get the Colossus, everyone? Can we get it? It's gonna be interesting. I see no barbarians at the moment. I hope this continues. Parthenon has been built. I've never gotten this wonder. Ever. I hardly know what it does. Parthenon. What tech do you require for that? Drama and poetry. Parthenon. So it contains a pre-built great work of art and a great work of art slot. That's not particular. Okay, it also gives 4 culture. I've never gotten this wonder, ever, because I never go for drama and poetry. There's so many other techs you need at this stage. You'd have to rush it if you wanted. And I see someone who built the Great Wall. And that someone is Lord Haile Selassie. Sup, dude? How are you doing? Let's get an embassy with you. Apparently, there's like 1 ocean tile here that we can't go through. And we can't get open borders until we sign a, or until we get civil service. But hey, this is going to be a good city to trade with. This is going to be a massive city. This is going to be a lot of gold. Yeah! The Colossus!
Bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves.
I gotta say, the wonder images and music that plays when you build a wonder in this game, fantastic. So much better than Beyond Earth. Anyway, I think this is a good time to end this part. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. And please consider leaving a like and a comment if you did. It helps out amazingly, guys. Really. Tremendous help. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys will be looking forward to the next part. I certainly am looking forward to making it. And as always, my name has been Mangs. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.